إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Brothers and sisters, pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah give us sincerity to speak the truth in the light of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, to understand them, to accept them in the hearts and to apply them in the life. Ameen thumma ameen. Today, briefly inshallah, I will be speaking about the history of Ashura. The history of Ashura is our subject today inshallah, and because it needs number of khutbahs to talk in details, but inshallah I will try my best to concise it in a way that it covers the topic as well as, alhamdulillah, it takes less time. Number one, there are two places in the Quran where the story is narrated. One is in Surah Hud, chapter 11, verse 44, where Allah speaks about the Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam and the time when the flood came, and then they were on the ark, and the ark settled down in the place called Judi. So according to the traditions of Islam, that this place of Judi, where the people of Nuh alayhi salam who were in the ark, the believers, they settled down, and the ark stopped at Judi on the day of Ashura, and it was Friday. So this is one important history that day of Ashura is known even at that time, and based on that, Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam also used to thank Allah by fasting on this day. So this is one history which is in the Quran. Indirectly, it is related to the story of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam when his ark settled down and stopped at the place, at the island called Judi. And it was on the day of Ashura, which is the 10th of Muharram. The second story is mentioned in Surah Al-Shu'ara, and that is chapter 20, verses 52 to 66, where Allah speaks about the whole story of Musa alayhi salam and Fir'aun, and the way Musa alayhi salam took his Bani Israel, his people, that particular night, and they came to the sea, and then they stopped at the sea, and they had to cross the sea. So when they crossed the sea, and there was a path made for them to cross the sea, Musa alayhi salam and all Bani Israel, children of Israel, when they came out from on the other side of the sea, at the same time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the sea to get joined together, and at the same time Fir'aun and all his followers, they were also inside the sea. They thought that they will also cross the road because they saw that the sea is open from both the sides, so they can also cross the one side of the sea to other side, and they will chase the Bani Israel and Musa alayhi salam. But he could not, because when he came inside in the center of the sea, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the sea to get together, and Fir'aun was drowned with his people, all his kuffar, They died in it, and that was the day Ashura was known. So the Musa alayhi salam and also Yahudi at that time, the Jews used to fast to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah saved them from the wrath and the curse of Fir'aun on that day. So these are two important evidences we have from the Quran. One from Surah Hud, chapter 11, verse 44, and second evidence is from Surah Ashura, chapter 20, verses 52 to 66. The whole story about Musa alayhi salam and Fir'aun. So these are the two evidences. Now, inshallah, I will go with the ahadith of Rasulullah quickly to explain to you that how the day of Ashura is important to us. Normally, we Muslims, as I told even in the last Jummah khutbah, that Muslims are understanding today either it is Sunni Muharram or Shia Muharram. And I have clearly explained in my last Jummah that there is only one Muharram, which is Islamic Muharram. There is no Shia Muharram, there is no Sunni Muharram. And it came only after the death of Hussein radiallahu anh, and a common sense for you people to understand. The way Muslims are giving importance to the month of Muharram, and especially the first 10 days of Muharram. Pay attention to this point. Compared to, if we see the best amongst the Sahaba, after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of us, Sunnis, all the sects of Sunnis, whether they are Deobandis or Al-Hadith or they are Barelvis, any sect of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they all agree that after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr is the best amongst the Sahaba. Regardless of Shia, we are not concerned about them. It is they have to be worried about that. So all the sects of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they believe that amongst the Sahaba, Abu Bakr is the best. Then comes Umar. Then comes Uthman. Then comes Ali. These are the four Sahaba. Abu Bakr died as a normal death. But Umar didn't die as a normal death. He was stabbed to death. So he was martyred again. So this is the first Khalifa. We Muslims do not celebrate his day of death, do we? We don't even think. We don't even know that whether Umar is. So compared to what we see today in the first 10 days of Muharram, which Sunni celebrates and the Shias also, giving importance to Hussein's death, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, they are not giving that priority and importance to the death of Umar ibn Khattab. He was also killed. Uthman, radiallahu anhu, he was also killed. Ali, Hussein's father, radiallahu anhu, he was killed. These great Sahaba, which we all agree, Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we all agree that Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'een, they are the best amongst the Sahaba. They are the best. And we know that the grave of Abu Bakr and Umar are next to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But we as Muslims, we don't remember their death. We don't remember the day when they died. We don't even mourn for them. So why in the history the death of Hussein is given so importance? Why? In other words, those people who wanted to divert Muslims from the deen, pay attention to this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in the Quran, وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودِ وَلَن نَصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ, that the Jews and the Christians of that time, they will never be happy with you until and unless they will change you to their own faith. They will never, Allah says, till the day of judgment. The Jews and the Christians will never be happy with you until they change you like them. So coming back to this, changing Muslims from their deen is very simple today. When you don't let the Muslims seek proper knowledge from Quran and Sunnah, and they are going to, their Quran is Google, their Sunnah is Google, their Kalima is Google, La ilaha illallah, Google Rasulullah. So anything that they want, they search on Google. So definitely, this has been a conspiracy theory or system or scheme or plan of the enemies of Islam during the time of Uthman radiallahu anhu. When they stabbed Umar, that group came up in the world, because during the time of Umar, the group was enemy of Islam, but they were not in public because they were scared of Umar. After the death, now this is a real history which I want you people to understand. And open your mind that what Muharram we see today, what Islam we see today, and what we see that the Muslims are prostrating in the graves, in the graveyards, and the existence and the appearance of the shrines of the awliya Allah. These are nothing but the diversion from Islam to shirk by the enemies of Allah. Because during the time of Rasulullah, we don't find any mazar. You will never hear any Peer or Wali's name. You will never find any Peer or Wali is buried outside the Jannatul Baqi. All the great Sahaba were buried in Jannatul Baqi. That's opposite of Masjid al-Nabawi. Even the Sahaba who died in the Battle of Uhud, Rasulullah buried them in the ground. He didn't make any shrine, a special shrine for them. No mazar system was there. No matam system was there. Mourning and heating your faces and cutting yourself was not there. But today, we are giving importance to the death of Hussein radiallahu anhu, and we bring the 10 days story that how brutally he was killed and his family was killed. What about Umar? Compared to Hussein, Umar is much greater than him. Compared to Hussein, Uthman is much greater than him. Compared to Hussein, his father Ali is much greater than Hussein. And they all were killed by the enemies of Islam. But they changed the conspiracy, they changed Islam. The enemies wanted you people to be like them. The enemies wanted you to be like them. And today we can see, we cannot change ourselves like Allah and Rasul, because we don't know. But we are doing zulm on our children. We are doing zulm on our children. Practical example, the haircut that we get our children done, hairstyle. Our children are innocent. I have got 80 plus children studying with me Monday to Friday. And I see their parents purposely, they hide their heads with this white topi. Why? Because yesterday the boys got shaved their head, and the shaving of the head is here. You can get a toy with, Betty toy, put that toy on it, and it will run on the tracks that they have on their heads. This is totally haram in Islam. This hairstyle is haram in Islam. You keep your hairstyle even, or you shave it all. But it's not yet. And these children are innocent. Where did this come from? Even those whose profession is barber, please be careful. Those who are working or running their salons, remember that. If you are doing that, you are part of that sin. And that income is haram. You can say, no, I don't want to do this, and nothing will happen. Inshallah, the way Allah gave food to Maryam from nowhere, Allah will provide food to you also from nowhere if you put your trust in Allah. Yes. So coming back to the point, we make our children look like how the society looks like today. We are happy with that, and this is what the conspiracy of the enemies of Islam today. I can't change it, because my khutbah will remain in your head as long as you are with me here. But the moment you will go out, you will be in your dunya. I can't change it, only Allah can change our hearts. But I can still tell you the reason why we are standing today in this position that we have no identity of Muslim, not in face, not in clothes, not in our behavior, and that's the reason this cartoon of Islam, and the people, the media highlights the terrorists amongst the Muslim, media talks about the pedophile, and sorry to say that Brother Rob, is not personal thing, but see what the media is showing now. The Catholic popes in all over the world, they have the serious cases of thousands of children being abused by the priests. It's only highlighted like this. If it was done something by someone, by Muslims. Now look, Prophet Muhammad died 1400 years ago, 1440 years. He was in Mecca, but till today the enemies of Islam were making his pictures and cartoons and proving him as pedophile. But now the whole world knows the Catholic popes in Europe, how they have done in America, what they have done to the children, and not one child, thousands of children. But there is no shame for that. No media is talking about that. And they cannot prove one case with our Prophet Muhammad that he was ever, known for pedophile. They refer to us today. Like few years ago, there was a case in Bradford. 6-7 Muslims were known for grooming the girls, and now they have been sentenced. So these people, these characters, when they have Muslim names, this cartoonist, this media will highlight them. Look, they are Muslims and they are pedophile, they are this and they are that. This is because of their Islam. Remember, I don't mind, they can call us anything. But when they relate it to Quran, that these Muslims are doing because Quran is teaching that. These Muslims are doing because their Prophet was like that. This is something we have to be serious about it. When somebody speaks about your mother, you will never remain silent. When somebody speaks about your father, you never remain silent. Even your wives, even when your husbands, when they speak bad about your mother and father, you feel like divorce, taking divorce or separation, because you can't take it. Why she speaks about my mother? Why he speaks about my mother? But we remain silent when somebody speaks about our Prophet. It's not because it is there done by Prophet, something like that, or it is there in the Quran, something that teaches us. No, it's this we people. And because we don't have the knowledge of our deen, we don't have the knowledge of our deen, and young generation, I even said this to the people in in the Islam channel, that we are 4 generations in this country, 4 generations of Muslims. People like my father's age, people of my age, people of your age, 30, and people who are younger than 20. These are the 4 generations we have. Our parents, what did they share? The portion of Islam, how much did they share with us? This is what we are reflecting in our life. And then, what we are sharing to our children who are 30 plus, what are we sharing with them? This is what is reflecting to them, in them. And what they're gonna share with their children, this is what we see our children. This is what we are sharing with our children. So, is this our Islam? Is this Quran say that? Is this what the Hadith says that? Is this what Rasul teaches us? No. So where did we get this from? وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَا النَّصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ. These Jews and the Christians of that time, till the day of judgment, they will never remain silent till they change you. They want you to be like them. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said that there will be a time where my ummah, we people, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, will follow the footsteps of Jews and the Christians to an extent that blindly when they see that somebody is going under the hole of the tree, why the Jew is going, why the Christian is going, we will not think of that. But because they are going, we have to follow them. And Rasulullah was asked, who are these people? He said, Jews and the Christians, you will be following footsteps. Sorry to say this, Sorry to say this, sorry to say this. If it hurts your feeling, then please go take 2 meals more. But alhamdulillah, truth has to be accepted. Rasul ﷺ did say in Sunan al-Tirmidhi, hadith, authentic hadith, that if the Muslim will see Jew and Christian having sex with his mahram, Muslims will have sex with his mahram, to be proud of following them. And this is what we are having. Yesterday they showed in the newspaper, a father was put into prison because he was having sex with his daughters. This is Muslim, and it is highlighted. The old man with big face showing on the first page of the news. This is our today's Islam that we have within Muslims. So, coming to this topic, Muharram. Why we are not remembering Muharram when Umar was killed? Why we don't remember Muharram when Uthman was killed? Why we don't remember Muharram when Ali was killed? Why only at the time when Hussein is killed? Conspiracy. Enemies of Islam wants to divert you from the truth of your religion. And yesterday, you can check it on the video. It's a big shame on us. Big shame. We call ourselves Muslims. We say we follow the best Quran, best book of Allah. We say we follow the best role model of on the face of the earth, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. But see, there's a video by an Urdu speaker. There's a video by an Urdu speaker. He is comparing the upbringing of the children and looking after the wives by the Jewish system, practical Jewish system, and the upbringing he compared. He brought the evidences. And the upbringing of the Muslims, their children, and how they look after their wives in that video. And wallahi, sorry to say this, they are 100 times better than us in that education for the children and for their wives. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So my brothers and sisters, there is no Sunni Muharram, there is no Shia Muharram. It's only Islamic Muharram, and that Islamic Muharram is not something that we see now, the first 10 days of Hussein's martyrdom and what the people talk about that. History is history. I'm not talking about that, but I want you to open your mind. Umar died, he was killed like Hussein was killed. Uthman died, he was killed like Hussein was killed. But we don't celebrate their death. Ali died, father of Hussein, but we don't celebrate that way. So why Hussein? And if we do that, then why don't we follow the guidelines of Rasulullah? So my point today, and inshallah, because most of you have already come over here, this Thursday, if you want to attend, mashallah, we are having a community iftar party. Community iftar party in this center, inshallah, on Thursday. And at 6:30 there will be a history of Muharram in detail, inshallah. I will be giving the speech. And after that, at 7 o'clock, we will have iftar party. But because we can't make it public in all that way, so Tariq Bhai has announced it, Tariq Bhai has prepared the leaflets. You can register your attendance with him, inshallah, or through the email, whatever you can, and you can go to the Inspire website. So that is the day which is very important in our life. The day of Ashura. The day of Ashura. As I said, day of Ashura is important for us. Why? Because Allah saved Nuh alayhi salam on that day from the flood. Allah saved Nuh alayhi salam from the flood on that day. Why Ashura is important in our life? Because Allah saved Musa alayhi salam and his followers from the wrath and the curse and the punishment of Fir'aun, and Fir'aun died and drowned on this day. So that's the reason Ashura is important for us. Ashura is important for us because Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the Quraysh before Islam, they were fasting on the day of Ashura. Ashura is the day where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down Adam alayhi salam on the face of the earth. He came down from the Jannah on the day of Ashura, and this was the day, 10th day of Muharram. So this is why it is important. Fourth point, why Ashura is important for us. Ashura, fasting of Ashura was so important in Islam that before fasting of Ramadan, Ashura was a fard fast, that every Muslim has to fast this day because it was considered to be the fard. Like we have Salah fard, we have got Zakat fard, we have Hajj fard. At that time before Ramadan's fasting made fard, Allah made Ashura fard for us. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quraysh in Mecca and the Arabs in Mecca, they used to fast the day of Ashura. Why Ashura is important for us? When Rasulullah migrated from Mecca to Medina, on the day of Ashura, he was told the Jews are celebrating this day. And the Christians also have high respect for this day. So Rasulullah inquired. He wanted to know why these people are respecting this day. So they said that the Jews said very clearly that it is the day we thank Allah because Allah saved us from the drowning from the sea. He saved us. So we fast to thank Allah. Christians, why they fast, it is not mentioned in the hadith, and I don't want to, push around here and there, so I don't want to say anything about it. But hadith says that even the Christians used to respect this day. Rasulullah was told that the Jews and Christians are fasting on that day. Rasulullah inquired, and they said that because they are fasting to thank Allah, Musa is our brother, and we should follow his sunnah, so we will fast. So Rasulullah came to Medina and he started fasting and he commanded the Muslims to fast. The second year, in the month of Muharram, Rasulullah said, now the fasting of Ramadan has become fard upon all of you. Fasting of Ramadan has become fard upon all of you. So those who want to fast Ashura, it's a choice for them. And those who do not fast, it's not a blame over them and it's not a punishment for them. So it's a choice given for the day of Ashura. Ashura is so important in our life that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the 9th year of Hijrah, a year before his death, Sahaba came and said to Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, fasting of Ashura is like similarity between us and the Jews. We don't like to copy them, or we don't want them to be similar on that particular day. What should we do? Pay attention to this question. Fasting is ibadah, worship of Allah. It was halal for the Jew, it was halal for the Muslims. Until 9 years of Medina, they were fasting. But somehow it clicked to them that how can we copy them? How can we copy the Jews? Even if it is ibadah, even if it is ibadah for Allah, but we have to be different from them. We have to be different from them. They have changed their Sharia, but our Sharia is preserved. We have to have our own respected identity, which today, unfortunately, we lost that identity. Like my children, when they went to school here, and when they told their friends that we are from India, so they asked this question, Muslim children, Pakistani children and Bengali children, are Muslims in India? Are there Muslims in India? Are you Muslim? They were questioning to my children, my daughters were wearing hijab, yeah, are you Muslim and you are Indian? Do we have Muslims in India? Do the women wear hijab in India? This is how the Islam has become strange to the Muslims today. We lost our identity. Our children cannot define who is Muslim and who is not. We have lost our identity. So, Sahaba said to Rasulullah, how can we fast on the same day when the Jews are also fasting. We have to be different from them. Rasulullah said, calm down. Calm down, relax yourself. It's ibadah, it's not a competition. It's not dunyavi things. Inshallah, if Allah gives me life. Okay, pay attention to these words. Rasulullah said, if Allah gives me life next year, then we will combine 9th day with the 10th day and we will fast 2 days to look different from the Jews. Make sense? But Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not leave for the next year. So the matter remained with what? Ashura. The matter remained with what? Ashura. So it is the fatwa, not my fatwa. It is the fatwa of the Sahaba. It is the fatwa from Abdullah bin Abbas, Abdullah bin Mas'ud, and amongst the scholars and imams, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayh, all of them, they say that the sunnah, the authentic sunnah, the correct sunnah, proven, practically done by Rasulullah is only fasting of Ashura. So that is what we have to give importance to. The question will come, okay, then what about Prophet's wish? Should we not fulfill his wish? Yes, we should fulfill his wish. We should be best of ummah, not in fasting only. We should be best of ummah to preach these people, the humble people. They want to know the truth. We have to welcome them. We have to preach Islam. We have to teach our children what Islam is. We have to teach our wives what Islam is. This is his wish. What did he say? If he wished us to fast 9th day, Tariq Bhai, he also wished us what? خَيْرُكُمْ مَنْ تَعَلَّمَ الْقُرْآنَ وَعَلَّمَهُ. The best amongst you. Now see, most of us are very proud, you know. I'm a successful businessman, so I'm proud of myself. I'm a successful salesman, so I'm very proud of myself. Alhamdulillah. I'm very successful teacher. I'm very successful this. But look what Rasulullah is saying. The best amongst you is the one who learns the Quran and the one who teaches the Quran. We are happy because our children are going to the madrasa. How much Quran do they learn? What they understand from the Quran? Ask your children. And how much Maulvi Sahib is sharing the Quran with them? And how much we learn? May Allah bless one family here in this Luton. May Allah bless them. Say Ameen. The girl who studied with us from Alif Bata learned Qaida, learned Quran, and when she was reading the Quran in the house, her father was sitting next to her and she asked him to read something from the Quran, and wallahi, the father cried. Father cried and hugged and came to me and hugged me and said, Brother Abdul Majid, wallahi, I'm so much grateful to Allah that we have a teacher like you. My daughter, who is only 6 years or 7 years old, she is correcting my Quran. Because every day, 5 days in a week, every day I tell my students, my children, please share what you are learning with us, please share with your parents. You share with your nani, share with your dadi, share with your dad, share with your mom. And alhamdulillah, this family, mashallah, they were gangsters before, believe me. Allah has changed them, it's not me. They were gangsters. But now, mashallah, for anything that they want to do, they first ask that it is from, something from Islam or not. To that extent they have changed, just because of this girl. So my brothers and sisters, Prophet ﷺ has said, the best amongst you is the one who learns the Quran and teaches the Quran. So fasting of Ashura is only 1 day. He wished for the 9th, he wished for the 11th, you can fast. I'm not saying it's haram. You can fast, and scholars have given the fatwa that we can fast, but we should fast Ashura. What's the reward of that? It expiates the sins of the one complete year of that has passed. So alhamdulillah, and again this invitation for all of you, but be professional and official and register with Brother Tariq, so we will have the idea how many people we should be serving. So Thursday 6:30 we will have a community iftar party in this hall, and Brother Rob and Philip, both of you are most welcome over here. Yes, alhamdulillah, and convey this message to Peter as well. So my brothers and sisters, we have here the place for the women as well. We divide the whole center, mashallah. Harun Bhai opens this one as well. And we divide the whole hall into two. That portion is fully covered and the women are there, so you can invite your women, and the men are on this side. So you can invite your women, you can invite your children. All of you are welcome. And the purpose behind this is, Allah knows my intention. I want to unite all of you together, my brothers and sisters. It's not something new or not something bid'ah I'm doing. It's just a community gathering, like we have Eid, we have Jummah, we have other occasions. So this iftari is something, alhamdulillah, which we will get together, and it's a rewardable thing because some brothers participate in the contribution. They say, yeah, we are giving some money for this, so alhamdulillah, they get the reward for helping people to break their fast. Some people bring their food. MashaAllah, last time we had, we didn't spend more than 200 pounds, but 80 people, MashaAllah, they came, they ate with us to their field, MashaAllah, and they also carried with them to the house. So it's a blessing. When you have intention, sincere intention, Allah makes it way for you. Alhamdulillah. So all of you are welcome. So coming back to this, my brothers and sisters, wallahi, this is my wish for all of you. Finally, I'm telling you, this is my wish, that I want you people to stand in my place, and I should sit there and say, okay, I'm the old man, now I'm retired. I want to hear from you people. That's my wish. That means every Muslim in my Jummah khutbah here, I want you people to be, a practical Muslim in your houses. For your wives, for your children, for your brothers, for your husband, for your parents. Say Ameen. Alhamdulillah. Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد